Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review Iron Man 2, and then after that, we're going to talk about these three short horror films that we saw also. The Three Dead Girls. But, I mean, they go by different titles, but that's for the DVD. Now, starting off with Iron Man 2, I remember John was saying this is the one that really kicked off the Marvel Universe, kind of, whenever...
Right, because you see Black Widows in this one, and then, you see Agent Coulson again, stuff like that.
Because I wasn't sure about that, or the Thor, but, I mean, he's right. And it was weird because, Marvel was still going around and stuff like that, and I remember Dad and I got the original Iron Man on DVD, and then the second Iron Man, I always missed the second one. And then I saw the third one, which was different, but not the best. Right off the bat, I want to say no one's been given more chances than Robert Downey Jr., and I think when he started doing Iron Man, I think he really locked on something really good, and
he's basically playing himself, too.
Yeah, I know.
Rich playboy, drunk and doing drugs and stuff.
I think he turned his life around. He was given a lot of chances. And Jon Favreau directed this one, too, along with the first one. And he's a great director, as well as an actor, too. And he was great in Chef, as well.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
And this was a lot of fun. This was one that had Mickey Rourke in it as Whiplash. And... I'm
surprised they didn't play a Devo Whippet.
I know. That would have been really cool. Yeah, they could have played that on there. And it's a lot of fun. I mean... Whereas Black Panther is more like serious stuff. Like this one is pure comic book, a bunch of egos, including Sam Rockwell, who's brilliant in it.
Yeah, he's a great underrated actor.
Yeah, and one great underrated movie they even had like a Watch Mojo list about is Moon. He was in that.
That was very good.
That's a fantastic movie for anyone to see.
Yeah, great drama.
Great movie for anyone to see who dig science fiction. Who dig this? It's a lot of fun. Like I said, Mickey Rourke, and there's lots of, snappy dialogue. And there was thing when he sold when he was doing the weapons thing with Sam Rockwell, he did, the dialogue for the mother. That was pretty good acting, try to keep that. I don't know how many takes they did on that, just the way the dialogue was. Fantastic. Lots of snappy dialogue, just like in the first one. And then the third one, too. I know a lot of people hate the third one. It's all right. This was a lot of fun. I really had a good time. I give it a 10 out of 10, but it's different from Black Panther or something like that.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I've seen it, so I forgot that was a different actor that played his father, Howard Stark, in earlier movies, because then it became Dominic Cooper, who's now gone on to a comic book TV show called Preacher, which is adapted by Seth Rogen and his buddy. It's a really good show. It's very funny.
What's that?
Go ahead. No.
Oh, was Seth Rogen's Green Hornet any good?
I never seen it. I heard it was sucked. So
I know. I heard it was bad too. I mean, I never saw the original one, but I know that Bruce Lee was in the original one. But so that was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I want to talk about this too. Three Dead Girls, and
yeah, recently I got that years ago. I forget what year it was, but in the early years of Erie Horror Fest, there was a short film called Scream for Me, and it's very different because it starts off with this guy who kills this woman. Well, then this guy bursts into the place and he's all pissed off because he's planning on raping her, so he decides to make the killer his victim. And it's very, very low budget, and I try to find it again. I found it for a while. You could find it online, but then it disappeared. And I think the reason why is because now they're releasing it on DVD. But it took a while to track down because I kept getting referred to Three Dead Girls. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. Well, I looked at it closely. It's like, they combined 3 short films, put them on DVD, and Scream for Me is the first one. But he did a couple other ones.
And it's weird because, that one guy, I believe, was supposed to be his dad. He called him, he's the killer's very delusional and stuff. Whole bunch of messed up things happen, and it goes in areas even I didn't feel comfortable with towards the end. It's really out there. As far as a disturbing piece of work, it gets a 10 out of 10. For the movie itself, 8 out of 10 just because of the direction it took, but it's really good.
Yeah, it's very low budget.
Very
It shows it,
disturbing
but
and
it
out
was
there.
an independent film, so you got to keep that in mind because I think sometimes people judge independent film, low budget ones, too harshly. It's like, yeah, keep in mind he did it on a shoestring budget.
But it looks really good. I mean, it's really out there, and they really had to commit to being that crazy. All three of the short films that was really committed, or else it'd be like a type of parody. And there was actually a featurette about the making of this movie where they had like goofy sound effects and stuff like that, and that was kind of funny.
But yeah, there were three separate stories, very
Yeah.
different. And the second one was basically about the character of Death getting revenge, and the third one, I don't think you and I figure out what exactly it was supposed to be about. So that's something you have to watch to figure out yourself.
Well, the second one was My Skin, and that was like this guy that, they show like the dead girl's kind of, and they show this one girl like this one guy killed her, right? And then Death was mad because he said he took her from him, and then there's a twist. What a twist! It's really hard to review in the short films because it has that twist you don't want to give away because it's a spoiler.
Right.
And he kind of turned the table on. He's very crazy, played by the Tony Simmons guy in all three movies, all three of those short films. It's very good and it's very committed, like I said. And it's very unique. But I mean, done on a low budget one. And the third one is No Longer Human. I think that started off like a piece of film noir from the dark side, where you hear like this one.
On the dark side.
all they do is they show like photos of this dead girl. I mean, they have like, this girl was the one that was attacked in the first one. And that's the one you see her the most. And then this one, they show her a little bit. And then this one, you barely see her at all, just some photos and stuff. And it's like, they talk about like this cop having a confession with this one girl. And it's done like, they show it in like a weird way, like, I don't know, the lighting's all weird and stuff like that. And then the cop sits down like to give like a confession. And he says, well, I can't give it. I don't want to give it away.
Yeah, it was kind of slow, so
Yeah.
I was fighting nodding off because I was getting tired of it. And it's like, it's slow, but, it's worth checking out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was, of the three, well, the second one I thought was decent too. I give that probably I give that maybe a 7.5 out of 10, and really close to an 8 out of 10. And then this last one I might give a 6 out of 10 too. But I mean, it's definitely the weakest one, but his acting is very good in it.
Right.
I actually know, I can't, it's weird because I think I know what he's trying to go for. And we even talked about that, man, at the end of the thing, like, but I don't want to give away because it's a spoiler.
Right.
So it's, the story Scream for Me, not to be fused with, Serpent Rainbow, and that guy told him to scream for him. Oh man, that would suck. I remember that. And that one guy, when I went to see it, I was in Gordon, Georgia. He saw it in the theater for me because sometimes they'll have like second run movies in the military theater. That's why I saw it like 2 or 3 nights. And he said, whenever the guy says scream for me, leave the theater. Oh, okay. I didn't though, but I mean, I know what he was talking about and that was messed up. And the second one was My Skin, which was pretty decent. And the second one, No Longer Human. They're all very interesting, but I think that the last one is the least interesting of them all. I mean, it's really hard. They start off with their most disturbing film first. Just like with Full Metal Jacket, the first half of the movie with the basic training and stuff with R. Lee Ermey was so compelling and stuff like that. It was hard for them to equal that during the second half of the movie. You know, I liked the whole movie.
Yeah, it was almost like 2 separate films.
Yeah. And this one is so wacky. Scream for Me, they should have started it backward. They had this one first, this one second, this one third. Save the best one for third. But I mean, it's up to them. But I thought those were good too. Overall, I give them a 7 out of 10. So, is there anything else you want to add, buddy?
Nope, I think that's it.
Okay. So until next time, buddy, that's the review of Iron Man 2 and 3 short horror movies. Oh, we saw some music videos. What was that name of that girl who sang?
Pretty Reckless is the name of the band. That the lead singer was little Cindy Lou Who from the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch. It's funny because I saw the movie, I'm like, oh, they gave this kid buck teeth. Well, they're real buck teeth because she still has them as an adult. But yeah, the songs are pretty good. The first one we listened to, Heaven Knows it sounded more like Joan Jett.
Yeah.
And the other one, I forget what the title was. It was a little bit more heavy metal.
It was very good. Not a feud with Heaven Knows Robert Plant version. What was the and the D. Schneider was Van Helsing's
Curse. Yeah. Yeah, I could post those on your Movies and Metal Facebook page so people can check out what we're talking about.
And he was telling me about that one girl, that physicist, or she was talking about chemicals and
and
stuff.
What's Dr. Anna's Imaginarium.
Oh, cool.
So if you're like science stuff, this lady goes into a lot of science. But Van Helsing's Curse is sort of like a cross between Twisted Sister and TSO. Because you have D. Schneider, he kind of narrates stuff, and then they play a lot of horror movie songs like, now I'm going to forget, what was it, Carol Bells, whatever that was called. There's a bunch of horror movie songs that they do, and the whole band's dressed up in makeup and stuff. And I believe they even had one guy that plays with the TSO. I think his name might be Mark Woods, a violinist. It's like a world-renowned one. But I think he's even some of that. But you have to check that out too. I don't know how long D. Schneider had that group around, and I don't know. I don't know if it's actual TSO or not. I didn't really find a lot of information. It could be them just doing another gig as Van Helsing's Curse.
That's cool, Kai. That's the first I heard of them. And for some of the people who didn't know, TSO is Trans-Siberian Orchestra, not to be confused with the punk band TSOL. That made me sound really old. True Sons of Liberty, or they sometimes
you are really old.
Yeah, because I remember getting one of their albums, and they were saying they didn't know what TSOL said. Some people said True Sons of Liberty. That's the only one I remember. But, I thought I'd include a couple little extra things about the band and stuff like that. Really interesting. So I guess that's about it. So until next time, bye, please. Take care, my Legion.